Hello there monsters and men, ladies and people, and welcome to Recharging. Yeah, you see it correctly, I am not sitting in a Volvo. Yeah, this is painful. And that is mainly because I'm a noob. I am a huge noob. Because I had the opportunity to have an early look at the new Volvo EX30 and EX90. But while being at Volvo, I forgot to record an intro and an outro. Noob, right? Yeah. Anyway, this is the intro. I will keep it short. Again, the new Volvo EX30 and EX90. I could not drive the cars, but I could walk around the cars and I could have a look inside. So without further ado, enjoy! Here it is, in the Netherlands, as one of the first, the Volvo EX30. So let's do a walk around the car. A new design language of Volvo is the closed grille. Where's my finger? Here, the closed grille, because, well, it is an electric car. We don't need that grille. This is much more aerodynamic. But of course, what remains are the floor hammers. Yeah, they look really cool, really cool. Besides that, the smallest Volvo yet, or currently present, whatever. The smallest Volvo. It is basically the successor of the Volvo V40, if you can still remember that car. And of course it is a crossover, but it is quite low for a crossover though, so it will be relatively aerodynamic. The drag coefficient, I will put that on the screen because I have no idea, to be honest. But yeah, it is a good looking car. It is a smaller compact crossover, so it is in the C segment, comparable in size to a Volkswagen ID3, for example. Charge port over there, yeah. My finger is a really good pointer. Charge port over there. At the rear, you'll see Volvo's new design language. So that means the tail lights are not one piece, but there is a divider here in the middle, as you can see. And of course, tail lights that go over the whole front of the car, or at least it looks like that. Not in this car. Let's do a quick walk around here. Let's put the camera a little bit lower so you can see the OS. Volvo written over the whole rear because that's what we want nowadays, basically. So yeah, again, a compact crossover from Volvo. Really good looking, really good looking. Now let's have a look at the boot of the Volvo EX30. This is the rear. You've already seen it. Press the button above the L. And there it is. You will see the capacity here somewhere on the screen because I don't know it from the top of my head, but it is a decent size boot if I'm honest. It is about the same size as the Volkswagen ID3 and MG4, for example. There is not too much going on. There is a false floor here, but unfortunately, if you put down the false floor, like I did, there is still a hump, as you can see. So no flat floor if you put the false floor down, but it is quite deep under there. It is quite deep. And before I forget it, there's one funny detail here at the tailgate of the car. Will it fit? Well, there you see it. You can determine it for yourself if it will fit or not. They have told us that if you want to put everything in this boot, yeah, that will not fit. And here it is, the tiny frunk of the Volvo EX30, enough to put your charge cables in. And that is basically it, but that's enough. At least it has one. Plenty of electric cars that don't have one. And the funny gimmick, there is a moose and other Swedish landscape and a tiny Volvo. Really nice detail, yeah, I like that. So here I am sitting in the interior of the Volvo EX30. I can only sit in the driver's seat, so that is what I will do. And just like a Tesla Model 3, it is very minimalistic. So that means there is only one screen here in the middle that will show you everything. Your speed, your drive mode, well again, everything. There is no screen in front of the driver and there is no head-up display. So again, very minimalistic, probably also to keep the cost down because, well, this is a relatively cheap car. And, well, the cheapest car of Volvo. Just like any other Volvos, this infotainment system is running Android Automotive, so it is Android based, and well, that system works really well. As we know, it is snappy, responsive and intuitive, so very good, very good. Let's go over some minor details of the Volvo EX30. There are no buttons here in the door. There's only a handle to open your door, but besides that, there is not a lot going on, no. The buttons to, for example, open your window are here in the center console. So to open your windows, also for the passenger, and to lock and unlock the car. And there is a touch button here, just like a Volkswagen ID.3. Oh god, Volvo, why? To open the rear windows. As you can see, there is no gear shifter here in the middle. It is a very open design, but the gear shifter, or the gear shifter, it's not really a gear shifter in an electric car, right? The thing where you determine if you go forward or backwards is here on the steering wheel, just like in a Tesla, for example. And yes, this is a pre-production car, so maybe this will change, but there is no cubby here under your center armrest. You cannot open this. Of course, you have this huge space over here, so that's probably the reason why. But again, this is not openable, and that is not an English word. And what Volvo does, just like a lot of other car brands with electric cars, is that they want to try to make the interior a sustainable interior, so with recycled materials as much as possible. So for example, the inlay here in the dashboard is from recycled materials. That also means that not everything looks the same. In every car, this lay-in here is looking different. And there is no leather, no real leather in this interior, only synthetic leathers because, well, sustainability. And here are the rear seats of the Volvo EX30. It is not the biggest in the rear, but of course it is the smallest Volvo yet, so what can you expect? I have to be honest, it is a bit tight to sit behind myself, I think. So as an adult sitting in the rear, maybe not the best suited car for that. And last but not least, here are the specifications of the Volvo EX30. The Volvo EX30 is available in 3 different versions. You have the single motor version, that one has 272 horsepower, 343 Newton meters of torque. It can do 0 to 100 in 5.7 seconds, and all Volvos are limited to 180 kilometers an hour. But you can get the single motor version with 2 different battery packs, one of 51 kilowatt hours. That one has a WLTP range of 344 kilometers and a maximum fast charging speed of 134 kilowatts. Or the extended range version, which has a 69 kilowatt hour battery pack, has a WLTP range of 480 kilometers and a maximum fast charging speed of 153 kilowatts. But then there is the twin motor performance version. It has all-wheel drive, 428 horsepower, 543 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 in 3.6 seconds, and also the bigger battery pack, but because it has more power, it has a WLTP range of 460 kilometers. And a fun fact is that the twin motor performance EX30 will be the quickest Volvo ever made. So here it is, the Volvo EX90, the biggest car of Volvo. So we have the smallest car and the biggest car of Volvo. Same design, closed grille, as you can see, 4 hammers, even though these 4 hammers are a bit more fancy than the one in the EX30, because the headlights are actually behind these 4 hammers. So you cannot see the headlights at the moment, but when the headlights are turned on, this will go away and then you will see the headlights. I will put a B-roll in right now. It is really fancy, trust me, it is really, really fancy. Besides that, big SUV, drag coefficient of 0.28, so for such a big car, I have to be honest, that's actually pretty good. Pretty good. One battery pack available of 110 kilowatt hours, so that is massive. What do we have over there? A neo bulb. Bulb, is that a correct word? A neo bump, that is the word, a neo bump. And that is because this Volvo EX90 also has a LiDAR sensor. So yeah, maybe LiDAR is the way to go. And besides a LiDAR sensor, it also has, I think, eight or 9 cameras to help you to drive as safely as possible. And yes, this car can do autonomous driving. It can do it, but it won't, because the legislation here in Europe, just like with a Neo, won't allow it yet. So the software is installed, but the car cannot do it. So when the legislation does allow it, then this car can do fully autonomous driving. Here's the rear of the Volvo EX90. Looks the same as the EX30, the new design language of Volvo. Then the specifications of the Volvo EX90. The Volvo EX90 always comes with all-wheel drive and a 110 kilowatt hour battery pack. With that battery pack, it has a WLTP range of around 580 kilometers and a maximum fast charging speed of 250 kilowatts. But there is a difference, because there are 2 versions of the EX90. You have the normal twin motor, which has 408 horsepower and 770 Newton meters of torque. That version can do 0 to 100 in 5.9 seconds. And there is the performance version, which has 517 horsepower, 910 Newton meters of torque, and does 0 to 100 in 4.9 seconds. So here's the boot of the Volvo EX90. Of course, just like the EX30, the capacity is somewhere here. Here's my finger, somewhere here on the screen. But here it is. As standard, it is a 7-seater, so you do get those 2 seats again as standard. The capacity with the seats up is something that I put on the screen. And then I can fold the seats with this fancy touchpad over here. I don't know how, if I'm completely honest. Okay, I pressed a button and something happened, so let's press it again for the right seat. Left seat, right seat. And there it goes, fully electric, and you have loads of space. With a capacity that you see somewhere here on the screen. With all the seats down, also that row, you have a capacity of 1900 liters. Yeah, that is a lot. You can go to IKEA with this car, and to another one, and to another one, and it's probably not full. And here are the door handles that come out of the car, so they are sunken into the car normally for aerodynamics. And if you want to open it, they pop out. So let's open the rear seat. And again, unlike the Volvo EX30, you can sit here in all comfort with loads and loads of space. Also with 3 adults, no biggie, no biggie. Quality is amazing. Again, no leather is available in this car. Volvo is leatherless. And just like the EX30, the interior is as sustainable as they can, or they try to make it as sustainable as they can. Here is a little control for your separate climate control. And under there are 2 USB-C ports. Yeah, this is luxury. This is luxury. And here is the front interior of the Volvo EX90. Unfortunately, I cannot sit in the car, unlike the Volvo EX30, but it is what it is, right? And unlike the EX30, this EX90 does have a screen behind the driver. Focus, and there it is. Welcome, Anna. So yes, this one does have a screen behind the driver, but it also has a insanely massive head-up display that you cannot see. I can try. No, there's nothing in there. No, absolutely nothing. But there is one, and they told me it is absolutely massive. And here in the middle, a Is it the same screen? I think it is the same screen. It looks a bit bigger than in the Volvo EX30. I will look that up. Results is here on screen right now. But again, Android Automotive, snappy, responsive, really good working, and well, it does look really nice in this Volvo EX30, really nice. And I have to be honest, I don't know why there is anti-head-up display and a display here behind the driver, because if you have a head-up display as big as this one, then why do you need that screen? Besides that, it looks really fancy in here, really luxurious. Again, no leather available. And you might think this over here is the shifter, but it is not. No, it is a stop and play button for the music and for the volume, because the shifter is up here, just like in the Volvo EX30. It does not focus, but it is there. Besides that, wireless charging pad for your phone, cup holders under here, 2 of them. I cannot open this, but that may be because this is a pre-production car. I'm not sure. And there is storage space under your, what is it, center console, yeah. And here is the front of the Volvo EX90. As you can see, it is a bit bigger than the EX30 because, well, there is a charge cable and there is more space. The exact capacity, I will put that on screen right now, but here it is. The noob is back. So that was my walk around of the EX30 and EX90. I'm really looking forward to driving those cars, especially the Volvo EX30. I can't wait. So that was it, and I hope you liked it. I certainly did. And if you did, well, it would be awesome if you subscribed and liked. And if you have something to say, well, feel free to leave a comment. And then I would like to say now, thank you a lot for watching, and as always, to be continued.